Super shoes or carbon plated shoes have really taken over the running world since their introduction. And while they have amazing benefits for not only racing, but also for training, I've been definitely recently trying to step away from the carbon plates. And there's a couple reasons behind this, two main reasons. I currently train in the Nike Streak Flies. These are an old pair. I just got a brand new pair that I'm gonna be using for the fall block of training. And I love these shoes. I truly think that these are great shoes for anything from 400-meter repeats to 10-mile thresholds. I do all of my workouts in these shoes, and I am very, very, very happy with the way they perform. Granted, they are marketed as a 5K, 10K racing flat. I still think these are great shoes for just about any workout you're looking to do. Maybe don't go over 10 miles, even doing 10 miles might be pushing it just a little bit. That being said, if I'm gonna do a progression long run, I normally do those in my Nike Tempo Next Percents, which are super shoes. They're actually banned because the stack height in the back is too high. That being said, these are about 3 years old. They have like 450 miles on them. I really rarely use these for anything more than a progression run because, you know, the super shoe aspect of the shoe is long past. It is really just a faster shoe at this point, you know, a little bit faster than like Pegasus or Invincibles at that point. That being said, I used to do a lot of my workouts in the Vaporflies. I think a lot of people obviously know exactly why these shoes feel amazing. They are great shoes for workouts. The problem gets to be, and there's really two main issues I have with wearing super shoes. Number one, and this is a little bit more new slash, you know, studies are coming out about it. I don't know how true it is, but I do feel like you are not working as hard in super shoes, and maybe not even that you're not working as hard, but there's certain muscles that you're not using, or you're kind of get at a crutch in a sense. There are some studies that say that super shoes are kind of exposing those muscles that you're not using, and you're not building them up the way you would be wearing a different type of trainer. That being said, I don't know that I'd say I noticed it that much, but I do feel like when I put super shoes on, the workouts tend to feel a little bit easier. And whether, you know, that's that 4% energy return coming into play a big factor, or mentally, which we're gonna talk about next, it just feels so much easier because you know you're wearing a super shoe. And that is really the second point, is mentally, I feel a lot better wearing super shoes. Of course I do, because they're super shoes. How could you put them on and think to yourself, oh, this workout's gonna be hard when I have a pair of super shoes on? You know, it does tend to feel easier, and you know, running is a very mental sport. Like, it is so mental. You're always overthinking what you're doing, and whether you have a pair of Vaporflies on or Streak Flies on, you know, it's gonna be a little bit easier knowing, oh man, I got that carbon plate in the bottom, one of the best shoes ever made. These things have got me through so many races. Like, if I'm wearing these, I'm gonna feel so much better than mentally, which might be a little bit of a crutch. Like I just said, you know, whether or not this is actually, you know, exposing the muscles that you're not using by wearing these shoes or not, mentally, I think it absolutely is. And there are definitely some aspects of wearing these shoes where, you know, yes, if I'm gonna do a double threshold, I'm gonna wear these for my AM session, these for my PM session. There's no way I'm going to just wear Streak Flies for a double threshold. That's a very difficult training style to do without super shoes. Super shoes almost, you know, makes it very doable to start double threshold training because of, you know, how taxing it is. So that being said, what I'm doing right now, where I'm only doing, you know, 1 to 2 workouts a week, where I can afford to wear just, you know, daily trainers, these bad boys, I think that wearing a non-super shoe, a non-carbon plated shoe, is much better mentally for me, and I think it makes me a better runner when it comes down to being able to put super shoes on when it comes to race day. I do feel like when I do workouts in my Streak Flies, I just feel a lot more, you know, confident finishing that workout. I feel a lot, you know, I just build your ego in a sense. Like, I'm just like, man, I just absolutely crushed a 6-mile threshold, knocked out some 200s right after. Everything felt good. The heart rate was low. The paces were perfect. And I did it all in streak flies. Like when I get to the line in, you know, October, November, getting ready to run half marathon, 10K, whatever I'm doing, and I toss on my super shoes, my vapor flies, like these are gonna feel amazing compared to wearing these. These don't have a carbon plate. They aren't nearly as stiff. Like these you feel so fast in. And I feel like I kind of miss that pop when you put on a pair of super shoes and you're like, man, it's time to absolutely get after it. So I want to save that feeling for race day. Mentally, I think that wearing streak flies, wearing, you know, non-carbon plated trainers, you just kind of build yourself up to a point where I don't think it's nearly as easy to do that wearing a pair of super shoes. Sure, maybe you could work out, and if I'm able to do a little bit faster of a workout in super shoes, maybe that builds your ego up just a little bit more, makes you a little bit more confident that, hey, yeah, I can handle this pace in workout, so I should be able to handle a faster pace on race day. That being said, I just do feel like mentally, if I'm wearing these shoes and I'm doing the workouts I'm assigned and I'm completing those workouts that I'm assigned, when I put on a pair of super shoes when it comes to race day and I get on that line, the super shoes feel so good. I really do miss that feeling of being able to put on, you know, spikes for the first time on a cross-country course and just feeling like, wow, all these workouts in the grass wearing Pegasus or streak flies, whatever, like it all led me to this moment where now I feel amazing putting spikes on. So in a sense, that's my mindset going into the rest of summer and into the fall. I'm gonna try to do all of my workouts in the new streak flies once, you know, I pretty much finish. These have like 350 miles on them. They're pretty much dead. But I also think that, you know, for the workouts that I'm doing right now, I can pretty much squeeze out another 50 to 75 miles in these bad boys. So once I get to that point, I'm definitely gonna transition into these. I'm gonna try to do all of my workouts in the new set of streak flies. And if I'm doing double threshold stuff, I'll use these. These have like another 400 miles on them. So, you know, again, the super shoe aspect of these are pretty much past. So they're still just great training shoes at this point. And I do think like, it's not worth just not wearing them because I don't wanna wear carbon plated shoes. You know, I understand the concept that 400 miles on Vaporflies versus, you know, 20 miles on Vaporflies, they're gonna feel a lot different. So at that point, it's like, okay, I'll toss these on for, you know, a double threshold, or maybe I'm not feeling that great one morning and I'll put these bad boys on just to, you know, get myself through a workout. There's definitely times where I think super shoes come into play, where you should wear them, where, you know, you shouldn't worry about what happens during the workout and just toss them on and get it done. I also understand that there are coaches out there that are making programs and making workouts specifically for super shoes. So I'm not gonna tell you don't wear super shoes, because I do think that there are times when you absolutely should. At least that's my mindset. Running is such a mental sport. Everybody is so different when it comes to running. There's no way of saying, you know, that what's working for me is gonna work for you, and what works for you is gonna work for me. It's very, very person to person. So just something I thought I'd talk about a little bit, because I'm very, you know, very much into testing this idea throughout the fall. Probably make a follow-up video a couple months down the road and give you more of my thoughts and my experience. But that's all for today. Really hope you guys enjoyed. Any comments, questions, or concerns, drop them in the comment section down below. With that being said, take care, love all things. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.